There are two golden rules of public speaking. Golden rule number one, the speech is for your audience. So everything that you're doing in your speech is for your audience. It doesn't matter what you like. What matters is what your audience likes. If it's relevant to you and not relevant to your audience, it's not relevant. Everything is for your audience. Golden rule number two, know what you're talking about. We're going to get to that later on. So first, we're going to deal with this first golden rule. The speech is for your audience. So you've got to know something about your audience to make sure that you're developing this speech for your audience. So the first thing that we do in building our speech is we figure out who's in my audience. Who am I building this speech for? We analyze the audience. So there's some questions you're going to ask yourself that you're going to want to know. Number one, what does my audience know about my subject matter? The speech that I'm presenting. You don't want to present too high. When I say too high, like knowledge that's too much that they don't connect to. If I start talking about things that they have no idea about, they're going to be lost. You don't want to be too low. You don't want to give them information they already know. Because in my mind, I'm thinking if I'm in the audience, hey, I already know this stuff. This is boring. I'm going to stop listening. So you got to know where your audience is in terms of their knowledge. Number two, their interest in the topic. If the audience isn't interested, they're not going to listen to you. However, if you know that they're not interested, then you can start folding in some relevant links, making sure that this information is relevant, pointing out to them, why do you need to listen? We're going to do this anyways in our speeches, but going forward, you should gauge people's interest in your topic, and then you may need to spend more time telling them why they need to be interested. Next thing, audience attitude, especially when we do a persuasive speech. If you know the initial attitude is, I'm against you, then maybe your goal for your speech is not to convince you to do anything. Maybe the goal is just to get you to listen to my point of view. So depending on the audience's initial attitude or disposition towards your topic, it influences the goal of your speech, especially in persuasive speeches. Let me give you an example. If I'm an atheist and I'm going to go to a church and tell them why I don't believe that God exists, are the church members going to be, is their attitude and disposition going to be favorable towards me? No. So my goal can't be to convert you over to my viewpoint. It's not going to happen. My goal may be, hey, can you just understand where I'm coming from? That might be my goal. Can you just at least listen to me? Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Then down here, audience perception, but the perception of you as a speaker. You want them to see you as somebody who's credible. So in order for them to see you as credible, you've got to make sure that you're citing your sources, showing them that you've done your research, that you have their best interests at heart, and that you look credible, that you've dressed professionally. So all those things play a part in, will the audience perceive you as being credible? Now all of this, super important. Why? Because the speech is for your audience. Now how are we going to know? How are we going to tap into this information? There's a couple different ways to tap in to find out about this information. I'm assuming you may not already know about your audience. Like if you're in a work situation, you'll probably know your co-workers, right? You've been there for a little while. You know this stuff. But what if you don't know? If you don't know, there's a couple different ways. One, you can do a survey. You don't have to survey every single person that's in your audience. Just survey 5, 10 people. Kind of find out where they are. You could do that in this class. You could survey 5, 10 students and find out where they are on this information. Or, I think it's the easier way to do it, when somebody asks you to speak, I would ask that person who's asking me to speak somewhere these questions. Hey, how much does my audience know about this topic? Where are they? So talk to the person that's asking you, or you could do both, and conduct a survey. Okay? That is analyzing the audience.